Welcome to ketomealsandrecipes.com. I've only made alcoholic drinks on 2 previous occasions. The first time was when I made my Irish coffee, keto and sugar-free video, in which I used the same Irish whiskey I'm going to be using in this recipe today. The second alcoholic beverage I made was version 2 of my creamy eggnog recipe, which was a cooked eggnog, not a raw eggnog. In the eggnog recipe, I added a tasty spiced rum for the adult version. So today, I'm going to show you how to make my third alcoholic drink, which is an acceptable and keto-neutral, sugar-free Bailey's Irish cream, my version. I'm going to make a big bottle, or 1 liter, because I have several more special recipes to share with you, and each of the next few recipes will be using the sugar-free Bailey's Irish cream as an ingredient, including the video I will be posting to celebrate our 4th anniversary of this channel, and which coincides with my birthday as well. Since I've been on keto, I rarely drink alcohol, but I have 3 eager taste testers who will be helping me out and expressing their opinions at the end of the video. So please join us for a toast and their opinion at the end. Before continuing, I'd like to mention that there are certain types of alcohol that are acceptable on a keto diet or a low-carb diet. They won't kick you out of ketosis, but they will put you in a pause state. And remember that alcohol will affect you much more strongly if you're on keto or low-carb than if you're eating a carbohydrate-rich diet. You will notice that you will feel the effects much more quickly and on much less alcohol. And I'd also like to caution you that for some people, even just a little bit of alcohol will result in a hangover. In other words, your tolerance to alcohol is greatly reduced. So if you drink alcohol to celebrate or socially, always drink in moderation and also stay very hydrated. Spirits such as whiskey usually have 0 or almost 0 carbs, and as a result, here's the macronutrient ratio for my sugar-free Bailey's Irish cream. The ratio is 15.7 to 1 with 0.8 grams of total carbs and net carbs, since there's no dietary fiber in this recipe. Here are the ingredients I will be using to make my version of this creamy alcoholic beverage. There are many versions of Bailey's on the internet, and some are even keto, but I wasn't quite happy with them. So in this recipe, I begin by making a fresh batch of my sugar-free sweetened condensed milk. And once you've made the sugar-free sweetened condensed milk, set it aside and let it get to room temperature. Next, make the full batch of my Parisian hot chocolate. And once that's made, set it aside. Let the hot chocolate cool to room temperature as well. You can take shortcuts, but this is not a cheap recipe to make, and you really want it to be as close to the original as possible. So please do use the 2 ingredients that you have to do a little bit of prep with. You will be very glad you did. You may be wondering, maybe I could take a shortcut and use one of the pre-made chocolate syrups. Although they may be keto, they really don't taste quite right. I'd also like to mention that you'll only be using about 2 tablespoons of the Parisian hot chocolate, but you can save the rest of the syrup or even freeze it for the next few videos that you will also need this ingredient for. Because if you like this Bailey's recipe, you will absolutely love my next 2 videos, especially the one on February 28th. Okay, once these 2 ingredients are prepared and cooled to room temperature, the rest of the recipe is extremely easy to make. Begin by getting your large mixing bowl, into which you pour in your room temperature strong espresso coffee. Then I poured in my sugar-free sweetened condensed milk and the room temperature heavy whipping cream. Now it's time to also add the Parisian hot chocolate sauce. Next I add the vanilla, but always try to get the best quality vanilla you can get, because a good vanilla will enhance the flavor. At this point, I'd like to thank my dear friend Belize Guy for sending me this wonderful bottle of vanilla. And then add the almond extract. Surprisingly, this ingredient is needed, so don't omit it. Now use a whisk to gently mix the ingredients without adding a lot of air, until all the ingredients are well combined and the liquid has a homogeneous color. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to mention you have to add the almond milk in as well. Lastly, drizzle in the Irish whiskey and again gently whisk to make sure that all the ingredients are well combined. I wish that you could smell the aroma emanating from my bowl as I'm whisking. And we're all done. That's all there is to making my sugar-free Bailey's Irish cream. The best way to store this, which will result in the least alcohol evaporation, I have found that it's best to decant her into a bottle with an airtight lid, like this. You can buy a 1 liter bottle like the one I'm using at most dollar stores. A 1 liter bottle, similar to the one that I'm using, only costs $3.50 at our local store. My bottle is just slightly under a liter, so I'm actually going to have a little extra which I'm going to pour into my mason jar. All that is left to do is to refrigerate the bottle until the Bailey's is nice and cool. You'll find that it's best to serve this sugar-free Bailey's Irish cream when it's nice and chilled. There's many ways to enjoy the Bailey's Irish cream, like in a shot or over ice. But in between uses, always store your Irish cream in your refrigerator since it's using quite a lot of cream, which by the way will last several months or until you drink it. I would like to suggest before pouring a shot, always shake the bottle first because some of the heavier ingredients will drift to the bottom of the bottle. And now I'd like to have my taste testers give their comments and opinions. I would like each of you to give your honest evaluation as to the taste and how closely you think this tastes to the original Bailey's Irish cream. Slanjava.
It's been a long time, but to the best of my recollection, this tastes like the original. It's smooth, creamy, and chocolatey.
As my mom said, your tolerance is way down on keto, so it hits you a lot harder, but I can confirm that this tastes exactly like the regular Bailey's. It's delicious, smooth and creamy, and it's just absolutely perfect.
I never really cared for Bailey's in the past, but man do I want more of this.
Thank you very much for watching my video, and I hope that you found this recipe interesting and useful. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And just to let you know, the link for the written recipe as well as the link for the videos I've mentioned are all posted in the description below. I have a special favor to ask. Please come back on February 28th to help me celebrate the 4th anniversary of this channel. Until next time, have a wonderful day.